Hi, welcome to Detailing World. In today's video, we're going to be doing a winter prep on the Nissan Pulsar. Hi, so welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Matt, and as I say, today we're going to be doing a quick winter prep on the Pulsar, get it ready for the next couple of months. And we're also going to be using a few new products from Car Chem. So yeah, like most of you watching this, you'll probably be wanting to get your car ready, or you may have done your winter prep. I usually do mine the last week of November, when now it's actually the first week of December. It was so frosty last week. So yeah, as I said, we're going to take a quick look at some of the Car Chem range. So let's quickly go through them now. So we've got the wheel cleaner, the alloy clean from Car Chem. We've then got the Super Suds shampoo, which from what they've told me, that is the 19:1, just in the new label and the new packaging. I'll then obviously be detarring the car with another product, but then I've got iron detox from Car Chem as well. So yeah, that's for the iron removal stage. And then getting onto the finishing stages with this range, I'll be looking at the all-in-one polish, getting that applied to the panels as well. Then I'm not sure about this part, but it's the Hydro Coat Hybrid, which is an SiO2 ceramic infused spray sealant. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or if I'm going to use one of my traditional winter waxes. And then to finish it off, they've sent me a tyre gel, which is quite nice of them. I like to try different tyre gels, and it's just simply called tyre gel. So yeah, they're the few items Car Chem have kindly sent me. So as I say, I'm going to do a bit of a review on that, test them whilst I do this. There's some products that I will also need that I'll be using from other ranges, so I need to use a snow foam of some sort. That'll either be detailed on lines or the Stiana gloss. I've not yet decided what snow foam. Like I said, the finishing stage, I'm not sure. Again, I've always used paste waxes, so if we just look up here, I usually use the Finish Kit FK1000P or the Collinite 476S for my winter waxes, but I may change that this year. I may go down either Supernatural, Dodo Juice Supernatural, or Zymo Glacier. I'm not quite sure yet. So if this is the first time you're doing a winter prep yourself, a winter prep detail is not much different than any regular full detail. So essentially what you're doing is giving the car a really good clean, and you want a clean slate to apply basically fresh products, something with good durability that's going to last at least 3 months. That's going to see you over the next, couple of months of winter weather basically. So for me personally, over the winter months, I try not to do too many contact washes. Because of the grit and all the grime that you pick up, there's more chance of inflicting swirls and that. So I just typically try and use products where it helps future cleaning just with a pressure washer. So snow foam it, rinse it off, and pretty much leave it at that. But if your car's well coated, that should be enough to get about 90% of the dirt off there over the winter time. So yeah, onto the plan for today. It's going to be wheels and arches. The wheels are going to have to stay on the car, so I'm going to have to clean the arches the best I can, probably just with the arch lance. And then moving on to snow foam and shampoo in the car. After that, it's going to be a thorough rinse and then decon with tar removers and iron removers. Rinse it all off again. Give the windows a clean and then spray some window coating on all the windows just to get that better visibility with the weather that we're going to be expecting. And then hopefully by that stage, I'll have decided what products I'm going to use for the protection. So yeah, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do consider subscribing, and let's dive into this. Right, so first of all, we want to give each wheel a thorough rinse down. I do one wheel at a time just before I'm about to clean the wheel. And then next up, I've attached the underbody lance to the pressure washer here. And I went round and did all 4 wheel arches in one go, and then under the rear bumper, under the side skirts, get as much of the grime and loose dirt off the car as you possibly can. So next up, as with any detail, you want to start off with the wheels first. Here I'm just applying an all-purpose cleaner into the wheel arches. Don't forget to prime up your brush as well and get some product on there, and then just get that in and clean the arches the best you can. It's a bit tight just back here, as you can see, but yeah, give the arches a real good clean. So once you've finished cleaning the arches, it's onto the wheels and tyres as usual. So I'm using the Stiana Gloss Force here on the tyres and a nice scrubbing brush to get those as clean as possible, remove any dressings, ready for some fresh product to be applied later on. So then here I'm using the Car Chem Alloy Clean, spraying that all over the wheels, make sure you get right into the barrels as well. And then in my wheel bucket here, I've just got some clean water with my wheel brushes, the arch brush and a detail brush for the faces. And don't forget to prime up the brushes that you're going to be using to clean the wheels with. So here I'm using the large wheel woolly to get into the barrels. It's the softest brush I've got to basically not scratch the gloss black paintwork on those wheels. And as you can see from this shot here, it's quite a thick foamy product. I'm surprised I didn't use too much. It may look like it, but there's not much product used at all here. And as you can tell from all the dirt, it's probably been 6, 7, 8 weeks since I last gave this car a clean. And it goes without saying, once you've done one wheel, give it a thorough rinse before moving on to the next wheel, and just repeat this process 4 more times. So I thought I'd just put this shot in here. I was recording this for Instagram Live. This is no camera movement or anything, just straight up, about 3.5 minutes. I'll condense this down into a time lapse. Just me cleaning this wheel and just showing you how frothy and foamy this product really is. So moving on to the wash stage now then, we're going to start off by snow foaming and pre-cleaning the car. Lift up your wiper blades first. It amazes me how many people actually snow foam the car with the wiper blades still down. Yeah, pop those up first and then snow foam your car in the usual manner. And pay attention to which way the wind's blowing so you don't cover your camera in snow foam. And whilst the snow foam is dwelling, it's a good time to go around with the detailing brush. I'm using the Meguiar's, I think it's a hog hair brush. This is quite an old one, but it's doing well with some 10:1 all-purpose cleaner. Get that sprayed in all the grills, around the badges, lights, basically places that a wash mate can't go. This is the time now to get around those areas and get all the dirt out of those gaps, and just give your brush a rinse every now and again in your rinse bucket. So once you've rinsed off the car of all the snow foam, it's then onto the wash stage. Here I'm just adding 3 and a bit squirts of shampoo into about 20 litres of water. And then if your buckets have been sat a little while whilst the snow foam's been dwelling, just dip your pressure washer in there and get that foamed back up again. It really does make all the difference as well. And then it's just a case of washing the car in your usual methods. So for me it's the windows first, then working from top to bottom and front to back. But I'm sure you don't need to be told how to wash your car, but I will be doing future videos, so keep an eye out on this channel for those. But for now we'll just get this car washed. And of course, don't forget to clean the door sills and inside the door jambs. If you haven't seen already, there is a video on how to do this, how to polish and protect your sills properly. I'll put a link in the card up top now. So yeah, make sure you give that a watch after you've done with this video. So once you've done with the wash stage and rinsed it all off, the next stage is of course the chemical decontamination. I did all the tar removal before this, I just didn't get that on camera. Here I'm using the iron detox from Car Chem and just spraying this liberally all over the wheels. The wheels, to be fair, are quite clean anyway, so there wasn't much to come off, and then spray it all over the bodywork as well. And just follow the instructions on the bottle, leave that 3 to 5 minutes, and usually you can just rinse it off. It may require a second coat or some agitation afterwards, and then a final rinse from that before moving on to the drying stage. So moving on to the drying stage, here I'm using the Polished Pigs Quick Detailer, which I did a review on just a couple of weeks ago. Again, I'll put a link up top now and in the description below. And this stuff really does help, especially when there's no protection on the car like this one today. It really does help absorb all of that into the towel and get the car as dry as you can, ready for the polishing and your finishing stages, which comes after this. Okay, so that's the wash stage done and the decon stage done. For those that may have noticed, I've not clayed the car, and those who watch the channel quite often or know me knows I don't clay the car unless I know I'm going to be machine polishing, and we're not doing any of that today, so it's just chemical decon. So yeah, I just had a quick break, had a bit of cheese on toast. We'll go through what we've done first of all before we get back out there. So to start off with, then we hit the arches with some 4:1 all-purpose cleaner and gave them a scrub and rinse down. It was then onto the wheels and tyres, so I used the Gloss Force to clean up the tyres, the Citrus Pre-Cleaner and the Car Chem Alloy Clean. That stuff, I really did like this. Very, very sudsy. I mean, I'm not actually, I thought I was using a lot, but if I just bring that in, I've used that much on 4 wheels. I don't know if it can be diluted, it doesn't say. It'd be great if you can. Maybe Car Chem will comment. If you can dilute that, that would make it a very efficient, value for money product if you can. Moving on from that, then we hit it with the snow foam. I decided to go with the Gloss Snow. I really do like that stuff. Smells really nice as well. It smells like, I don't know, forest fresh or something like that. And whilst that was dwelling, I obviously went around all the nooks and crannies around the windows with the all-purpose cleaner at 10:1. And then next up, it was onto the shampoo. It was the Super Suds from Car Chem. As I say, they say this is the 1900:1 in a different label since they've done the rebranding. I was going to use 3 squirts because it says 4 squirts into, or 4 pumps into 20 litres of water. I usually use about 15 litres. So I did 3 squirts, but then when I locked it down and some more came out, so it was like 3.5 squirts, but it wasn't as sudsy as I thought it'd be. So about halfway through the wash, I put another 2, maybe 3 or 2.5 squirts in, and it did seem to be a lot sort of slicker and sudsier then. And then we hit it with TARDIS all over, and then finally the iron detox. One thing you can tell with my car is obviously the wheels are clean anyway. It's always a challenge to review iron products on my car because it's normally kept on top of. It did pick up some iron on the wheels. It does say on the bottle it takes up to 3 minutes. To be fair, it did. It started turning purple after 3. It needed about 5 minutes to pick, some of the bits up. The only criticism I have is this spray trigger. I'll show you some footage of that. I need something quicker so it can just spritz all the way down the car. This is like squeeze, wait for it to release, squeeze, wait for it to release. So yeah, that's the only thing I would suggest changing if you can, Car Chem, is just change the trigger on that. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a bit more of this coffee and then we'll get out. Next up we're gonna be doing the all-in-one polish. I've still not decided if I'm going to carry on with that hydrophobic coat that they've gave me, or if I'm going to use a wax. I'm not sure yet. And then apply some glass sealant, apply maybe a spray sealant onto the wheels. It depends if I can be bothered to get in there with a paste for the wheels, and then quickly maybe hoover the inside and apply some defogging stuff to the inside windows. So yeah, if you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure you smash that like button, and if you're not subscribed, as always, please do consider subscribing as well. So yeah, let's get back out there. Okay, so following that quick coffee break, then we're now onto the polishing stage. Usually I will do machine polishing, or at least apply this by a DA. I'm not a big fan of hand polishing, but I thought I'd review the product in that way. So here I've used about a 10p size amount of polish, and that did about a quarter, maybe half of the bumper here, and just wear that around circular motions or crosshatch motions, whichever you find the most comfortable, or whichever works best on the shape of the panel that you're working on. And just leave that a few minutes to haze over before buffing off. So I did the bonnet and then roof, and then came back and removed it from those panels, and did one side of the car, polished, and then removed the other side, polished it, and by the time I'd finished, removed that. And then the same, I did the front bumper and rear bumper, and then went back and removed. So yeah, just find a way that works best for you. So moving on to the glass stage, I'm using the Easy Car Care glass cleaner here, I think that's the name for it, and the Dodo Juice Mint Merkin glass cloth as well. One of my favourite cloths that I really do like using for glass. I just like the tight weave that it's got in there. It just makes it a lot easier to clean the glass properly. And as you do, give the watch a quick clean. It was looking a bit dirty. And then did someone say puppy? Yep, the neighbour just walked by. We've got a 4-month-old French bulldog, so I thought I'd go and say hello to him. And then finally we're nearing the end then, so I did decide what I was going to use, and I decided to go with the traditional carnauba based wax. So I went with the Zymo Glacier, as you can see here. And this is just like polishing really, so do a panel or 2 panels at a time, and then remove. Just follow the instructions on the wax that you're using, and it all depends on the conditions of the day as well. So it was actually quite a decent day for the beginning of December. It was 8 to 10 degrees, something like that. So again, I just applied this all over the bonnet and then the roof, and then removed from the bonnet and the roof. And again, one side of the car, applied and removed, onto the other side, and then front and back. As I say, it all depends on conditions on the day and the product that you're using yourself. And then finally we're finishing off with the wheels and tyres. I must have forgot to record some of the tyre application stage. This is all the footage I've got, but this is again the Car Chem tyre dressing, the tyre gel that they sent. And I must say this went on quite nice actually. For a gel it did feel quite dry to the touch after application, and so far it seems to be doing alright in the car. And then for protection on the alloys, just simply because of time, I didn't have time to apply a paste product as I normally would. I've gone ahead here with the Easy Car Chem Ghost Spray Paint Sealant. So I've sprayed a little bit of that onto the microfiber direct, and then I'm just applying that here to the spokes now. And it does leave a bit of a hazy finish on there as you apply it. And then with a clean microfiber, I'll just flip the microfiber over to a fresh side, buff that off afterwards, and that should hopefully keep the wheels clean and easier to clean over the winter months. But yeah, we're pretty much done with this now, so we'll see out the rest of this video and then get back to the garage. Right then, so there we have it then, that's the finishing stages all done. So got back to it, and we first of all gave the car a hit of the all-in-one polish all over. It does say you can apply this with a machine. I just couldn't be bothered to get the machine out, so yeah, I thought I'd do it by hand, even though I'm not a big fan of hand polishing. I then decided to wax the car, and that's simply because this Hydrocoat hybrid from Car Chem, it does say that you need to allow 5 minutes to cure and to do panel by panel. It just seems like a very long time to do that, and with the daylight, obviously drawing ever shorter, yeah, I decided to quickly run around and give it a coat of wax. So we went with the Zymo Glacier. I've not used that for probably a couple of years now. Oh, and it goes on like butters. Absolutely amazing stuff, and it smells awesome. So yeah, I've got that. Hopefully that'll see me through the winter months. If not, I can just spray on either the Zymo Field Glaze or, you know, one of the many other spray and wipe on or rinse off sealants that I've got. And then moving on to the wheels, first of all I decided to do the tyres, so I used the tyre gel from Car Chem. The applicator that you saw me use, it was actually some like packaging sponge. I just thought I'd see how that'd work as opposed to a normal applicator. I mean, that's a normal applicator. That does feel a little bit thicker and like denser. When I say thick, I don't mean the obvious width of it. So yeah, so I applied that and just buffed off any excess. There wasn't really that much excess. And that looks quite nice. I'll see how we get on with that one. And then, because like I said, rushing with time and all of that, I didn't really have time to put on a proper dedicated wheel sealant. So like I've done on the neighbour's car, I use the Easy Car Chem Hybrid Spray Paint Sealant. Spritz a couple of sprays of that onto a microfiber. Wipe that all over the wheel, and then either a clean side or a fresh microfiber, buff that off, and hopefully that'll see me again through the winter months, where I can just spray the wheels clean and not have to do too much contact washing. And then finally off camera, I finished off by giving the leather inside a quick wipe down because there was doggy paw prints everywhere. So that's the 10Z leather wash and care. And then all the windows on the exterior were coated with Rain-X, just to help bead all the water off when we eventually do get the heavier rains, and you know, it's always constant. So yeah, that's the winter detail all done there. One other thing I wanted to mention quickly was what you can do for yourself whilst out there, if you do need to be out there cleaning come the colder weather. So first of all, you know, coats and all of that. If you can, something without buttons. This has got buttons on, so you could see me now and again trying to keep this away from the paintwork. Obviously a hat, leather trainers and all that, waterproof boots basically, or something like that. And then my number one tip would be, if you can't have hot water outside, which fortunately I got a hot tap plumbed in, some sealskin gloves. They're quite grippy as well, so you're not going to drop your mitt or anything. And these are waterproof gloves. I've had these now for about 8 years and they are still going strong. They keep your hands warm and they keep your hands dry. The other option that I've seen people doing is nitrile gloves inside a pair of marigolds or something like that. That's absolutely fine. Or cotton gloves inside marigolds, keep your hands warm and waterproof at the same time. So yeah, that's just a quick one for you there. So as always, if you've enjoyed this video, then please make sure you smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, please do consider subscribing as well. It really does help us out. We've also got the 12 Days of Christmas currently running on the forums as well. So if you've not seen that, head over to detailingworld.co.uk and try and enter that before the closing date. And finally, yeah, We're on Instagram as well, so make sure you follow us on there as Detailing World Official. If you want to see the behind the scenes and when I'm doing this sort of live and whatnot, I'm on there as Randomly Set. So yeah, have fun detailing.